Hello everyone, my name is Indubese Chiwendo. Um, I'm a software testing instructor. I want to continue our topics. We are still on chapter 1. We've treated on what software testing is all about. We've treated on objective of testing. Last week I treated on static testing and dynamic testing. Today we are going to treat on verification and validation. We're also going to treat on verification and validation. We also treat on success. How does software testing contribute successfully in the software development organization? How does it contribute success to a software development organization? Before I proceed for today's topic, I would like to treat. I would like to. I would like to summarize what we did last time on static testing and dynamic testing. Last time I mentioned that static testing is performed without the execution of code. Let's say, for example, a customer brings in a requirement in the organization. Okay, he or she says, okay, this is what I want. Maybe he has a car. He bought a car. Let me say he bought a car that was developed in the organization, and he or she wants the car that the windows of the car, when it's pressed on the when it's pressed, when the button is pressed, the windows goes up. When it's pressed up, the window goes up, and when it's pressed down, the windows goes down from the remote button. Then that is the customer requirement. So when it comes in with such requirement to the developer have to write out the code based on that requirement before building process. So as a software tester, your work is to check, to test, to check what the developer has written, if it does what the customer wants, if whatever the developer has done, if you have to test to know if what he has built is corresponding to what the customer requirement is, if he's doing what he's supposed to do. And along on that process, that is what we call static testing. Then dynamic testing has to do with execution of the code. Dynamic testing is not interested on the writing of the code. The only thing it does is the behavior. That is when the software has been built, when the developer finished building the customer requirement. The work of dynamic testing is to perform it, to see the behavior when he's doing it. That is what we call dynamic testing. Dynamic testing is not interested on the code that is being written by the developer. The only thing it does is when you press it, if it does what is expected to do, when it goes up and when it comes down, that is what we call dynamic testing. So today we are going into verification and validation. Verification is also known as static testing. Yes, verification is known as static testing. It involves the execution of the code. That is why sometimes we say static testing is part of verification. So it involves the execution of the code, and it does not involve the running of the code as well. Sorry, verification does not involve the execution of the code. It does not involve the running of the code. Verification is a static practice of verifying document, design, code, and program. So that is what that is all about verification. So now we are going into validation. What validation is all about. Verification, in verification as well, we also check if we are building the product right. While in validation, we check if the product, if we are building the right product. So both of them just run as opposites. Verification does this and the other one does the other way around. That's all about it. In verification, it does not involve the execution of the code, while in validation, it does involve the execution of the code. It involves the running of the code. In verification, it does not involve the running of the code. In validation, it involves the running of the code. Validation is a dynamic mechanism of validating and testing the actual product. Validation is to check whether software meets the customer expectation. Yes, I mentioned it earlier that validation is also known as dynamic testing. Yes, I mentioned it earlier that dynamic testing is not interested on the code written by the developer. The only thing it does interested is on the behavior, what the software is doing. That is what we call validation. That is what we call dynamic testing. So it's to check whether the software meets the customer expectations. In validation, we check are we building the right product. In verification, we check is the product being built right. That is all about verification and validation. Now we are going into the activities of testers and developers. What are their work? What are their main duties? The activities of a tester and the activities of a developer. The activities of a tester is to show failure, is to show that this software is not doing what is expected to do. That is the work of a tester. Is to show that this software has defects and need to be fixed. Is to show the various where is to run a test on a software to find out those areas that are not doing what is expected to do, that are not working, that are not performing well. That is the work of a tester. A tester activities is to show the failure, and this is the main activities of testing. So once we find defect in the software, we report it to the developer so that they can fix the problem. Yes, immediately we detect an error in a software that is being built by the developer, we send the report straightforward to the developers. So the developer will use his debugging techniques to analyze the problem, to check if the defect, to analyze the problem. When you get the report, you analyze the defect and try to fix it. So that is the work of a developer. But I'm still on the testers. The testers activities is to show the failure that are found in a software, and when he finds such failure, he puts it in writing and send to the developer. The developer will now use his debugging techniques to analyze and to find the causes of such problem and to fix it as well. Then the second point in testers activities is to check if the defect that has been fixed, yes, that problem that he found on the software, after sending the report to the developer, and the developer will now use his debugging techniques to analyze and to find out the causes of such defects, then and try to fix it. Then the tester will still need to check if the defect has been fixed. Then after he or she find out that the defect has been fixed, then we also do what is called retesting. Yes, so we have to do what is called retesting. You retest that particular area that the issue occur to check if it has started doing what it's supposed to do, and you also check other parts that are functioning well to know if they are still functioning well. That is the work of a tester. Now, activities of a developer. A developer is also known as a debugging. Yes, and sorry, in software testing, in this software testing, the person that is responsible for conducting such tests is also known as a tester, while here in debugging is known as a developer. Developer, one, their main activities are: one is to analyze the failure that are found by the testers. The testers send the report to the developer, then the developer will not analyze the failure. Number one activity, they analyze the failure. They will analyze the failure that are found by the tester. Then the second one, they will try to know the causes of such failure, and they will fix it. After fixing it, they will also check to know if it's doing what, if it's working, the area that they have fixed, if it's working. And the person that is responsible for this is known as a developer. He is the person that does that fix that find out the causes of the problem, then you will not fix it. So before I proceed, I would like to um, explain more on how this particular uh, these two people works, a tester and a developer. I would like to explain more on the workflow of their activities. The tester observe the failure. Yes, the tester first of all will observe the failure in the software. When you observe the failure in the software, then the developer will not investigate the failure that are found by the testers. The testers observe the failure. The developers investigate the failure. Then the second one, the developers will isolate the defects. That is, separating the areas that are not working from the areas that are working. Yes, they will have to check the software. Those areas that are not working, they will isolate them from the areas that are not that are working. They will isolate the area that are not working from the areas that are working. Then after that, they will not fix the defects. They will fix it. They will know what made it not to work, and they will not fix it. Then the tester, they will fix it. They will fix the um, they will check those areas that are not working, and they will fix the defect. Then after checking those areas that are not working and they fix the the defects, then they will not check if what they have fixed, if it's working properly, if it's doing what is expected to do. And after they are satisfied, they will not send the report to the testers, and the testers will do retesting. Yes, after they will have fixed the defects, the problem, the issue, then they have to check. That is the developers, they have to still check if what they have done is working. If they are satisfied with what they are doing, they will not send the reports to the testers that, look at, we have fixed it, we have finished what as expected to do on the software, and those areas that are isolated, those areas that are bad, is now working well. So they will have to send reports to the testers. Then the testers will now do what is called retesting. They will retest the software, those areas that are isolated by the developer. They will have to check it to know if what the developer is saying is true. So they will do what is called retest to confirm the fix works. That is how the testers and developers work. Now we're going to see the difference between them, difference between testing and debugging. Debugging, have it in mind, testing is performed by testers, debugging is performed by developers. Yes. Now we are going to see the difference between both of them. Difference between testing and debugging, testers and developers. 1. Testing is performed by testers, while debugging is performed by developers. I mentioned it earlier. Testing find programming failure, while developers claim that the work is going fine. The tester find problem, failures. A developer might be developing a software, and he'll be claiming that everything is going perfectly well, everything is working well. But when a software tester conduct tests on such products, you find out that things are not going well. That is their differences. Then the third point there is that the purpose of testing is to find defects. Yes, the main purpose of testing a software is to find defect, those areas that are not working well. Is there any area that are not working? Is there any area that is not doing what it's supposed to do? Is the software, some software that are produced, some of them might not work at all at all. Is the software working, or is it not working? Is it doing what is expected to do? That is the main purpose of testing. The main thing of conducting tests on a software is to find defect. While the purpose of debugging is to find the causes of the bug. Yes, the purpose of debugging. The purpose of debugging is to find the main causes of such defects. And when it's been found, you analyze it and fix such problem. That is all about testing and debugging. Then, why is it that testing is important in the organization? It's a very nice topic. Why testing is very, 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 very important in the organization. Yes, we have to understand that we are all human, and every human is prone to make a mistake in life, and the mistake can be expensive. Yes, well, there's no one on earth that will say that he or she hasn't done any mistake in life. Nobody know it all, except if you are Jesus Christ. He is the only one that know it all. So we human beings cannot say, I will not make any mistake in our life. We will not make any. No, nobody is prone not to make any mistake in life. So in software testing, when a mistake is being done, it cause a huge expensive, as in it cause a huge problem. Yes, in the software. Just like example, Ethiopia Airline that crashed. All these things are software failure, and so many samples. So when mistake is being created in software, it can take life. Yes, it can cause death. Ethiopia Airline, everybody died. So these are the examples of why software testing is very important in the software. I mean, in the organization, software building organization. It's very, very necessary. It can also cause loss of money. Yes, when a software is being built and there is no proper testing being conducted on it, it can cause loss of money. Just like let me say I'm a software developer, I develop a product, and I hand it over to my customer in the market. I put it on sale without conducting proper tests. Getting on the market, or yes, getting on sales, the software might not work, or it might develop one problem or the other. You know, just like me, I go into market, I got something and it's not working. I got an electronics or something like that, it's not working. I cannot, I cannot go back there again to say I want to go and buy, or I cannot prescribe that place for somebody to go and patronize them. It won't be possible. So software testing, lack of software testing can cause loss of money. It can cause time wastage. You just wasted all your time in building a particular software that at the end it won't work. So software testing is very, very important and necessary in the organization. It can even cause business reputation. It can spoil a business reputation. Yes, it can spoil business reputation. Business reputation will become zero. So it's very, very important. It can cause injury, death. So software testing is very, very, very important in the software development organization. So to avoid all this, we have to test every single of our products that we produce, every single of it, before handling it, to the buyers. So it's very, very important to conduct to conduct testing on our products, at least to reduce the risk level. Yeah, to reduce the risks that are associated with our products. It's very, very important. You have to reduce the risks. Another one is to find defects, to detect defects so that they are not seen in the operational use. Yes, because when you conduct a proper test, those errors, those parts that are not working, you have to find them so that it will be fixed, so that they are not seen in the operational use in the market. It will not cause a problem to your buyers as well. And also to meet contract, to make sure that what we committed we are meeting. Yes, to make sure that all the efforts that we made in the organization to produce expensive product and all that, to make sure that everything that we have done, we are meeting our target, we are getting our income, we are getting what we are supposed to do. So software testing is very, very important to our building organization. Now we are going into testing. How does testing contribute to success of the organization? This explains that after the developer write out his code and develop a software and hand it over to the customer without going through appropriate testing level, and then the customer uses the product and find defect on it, he or she will not complain because the item did not go through appropriate testing. Yes, testing contributes to success of the organization. How? Let me say, for example, when a developer develops a product and hand it over to the customer without undergoing any test, when such software gives problem to the user, the user don't have to complain because the software was not tested. So they were supposed to test it before it's being given to him or her. So software testing contributes success to the organization. Without proper testing, without conducting a proper test on a product that is being manufactured by a developer before going into the market, is going to cause a huge amount of problem. So we have to conduct tests right from the requirement stage to the final stage implementation. So it's very, very important. Testing is very, very important in the development organization. I'm going to close here today. If you watch my video and you like it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. When next we meet again, we will be going into our next topic. Yes, our next topic, we are going to talk about more on the level of software testing that has to do with, that is the level of software testing that has to do with the level of development from the user requirements to the coding, unit component testing, how it goes, how we conduct our tests from the beginning to the user requirement, from the user requirement to the component testing. That's how it goes from up to down, from down to up. So when next we meet, we'll go into the level of testing, the level of our testing, how it goes from the user requirements to the component testing, from component testing to user requirement. So that is what we are going to treat next time. I will see you next time on my next video. God bless you. Goodbye.